became that. And I think someone's gonna enjoy that. Surely. I enjoy it. Hey everyone, how are you? This is Emily from Emily's Palette and I'm back with a new video. Today I thought about talking about my experience as an artist and or creative. I have always been creative since when I was really little and always struggled to find my way. I never really knew what I wanted to do. I never knew how to apply this talent into this society, into this world. So yeah, I just thought that I'd share my experience with my life and my creativity, and hopefully it resonates with some of you. I was one of those children that everyone would say had artistic talents and who was very mature for her age. I was told that a lot. I read this quote once that said that the answer to your problems and to know what you want to do, what your purpose is to actually look back to when you were a child and see what you loved doing then. For me, it was drawing, creating, and it probably meant something that everyone around me was saying that I was good at it, that was my talent, I was special. But then, obviously, as you grow up, and especially with artists, it's really hard to find an artist that is happy with their work, that does think that they are very talented and appreciates it, and also has a job in that industry.
I'll finish it! Up a little bit here, huh? How about there? How about there? And... Look out! Paint to land!
For example, I was always told, yes, you are very talented, you should be an artist, you should be a creative, but there's no jobs there. And I would always think, God, it would be so amazing to do what I love doing as a job, as a career. And I've seen this creativity inside me all my life, like from when I was really young, and I would, dance around, perform, sing, draw, paint, create things. I would create board games for me and my family to play. And I used to just love dancing. I used to love Just Dance. Every time my friends came over, I would want to play Just Dance. And they would just not want to, and that would really disappoint me. And when I was a teenager, I began my own YouTube channel, which was very good fun. I was going through a lot at the time, and I thought, what is something that will make me feel better? What is something that I can do to take my mind off what I was going through? And so I decided to start a YouTube channel for myself mainly, but also to kind of become popular and hopefully one day become famous on YouTube. And that went through for, I'd say, 3 or 4 years. I continued doing it. I started when I was 14, I believe, and then I stopped at around 17. But I do all kinds of videos like trying really healthy foods, or this is what curly girls are like. Everything under the sun from the Tumblr / Musical.ly era, everything that was going trending, like the challenges, just comedy skits and videos like that, and I loved it. That made me get into editing, so then I decided to pursue that, to keep going with my editing, to look for job opportunities that had anything to do with editing and creativity, and it gave me so much purpose at the time to continue and to do these videos, even though I was getting about 3 comments and maybe 10 likes, but my videos would reach sometimes 800, 1,000 views. It never took off, but it didn't matter because it was enough to drive me forward and to keep going and to explore that creative side of myself. In fact, I'm going to tell you what my intro was back then. My YouTube channel was called Illy, because my name's Emily, and I would say, hi everyone, this is Emily, and I'm back with a new video. This was because obviously M and then Illy means I love you, so I thought that is genius. That is absolutely genius. Everyone will love that. Anyway, I would get some hate comments, and that also helped me grow because I learned to use them for publicity, and also that they would still add views to my channel, so it didn't really matter. But obviously there was that thing where I didn't really know where they were coming from. It was on this app, which I don't know if any of you know, but it was called Ask FM, and you could send anonymous questions. It was the most toxic app from our teen years. I mean, honestly, I don't know anything worse than Ask FM. Probably Tumblr was nearly there, but not as bad as Ask FM. But yeah, I would get anonymous hate comments, but then I had some really sweet, supportive friends back then that would tell me to keep going. They would support me and say that it was fun, and it just really helped me out at that time. And then the obviously scary decision of what am I actually going to do with my life came round. During COVID, I decided to start going to university, and as I loved editing, I decided to do filmmaking and theatre, and then I got into the production world. But there is something that I left somewhere in my life, which was that joy and passion to create and to just create things that were mine and personal, you know. And what's tough as an artist is you never truly know what your style is. And I think I know a few artists that have really found their style, and I love that. But for me, my mind's always been so messy that I didn't even know what my art style was. So I'm still experimenting. I also had gone to an art school, and that was for 5 years. And the trouble there is it also made me dislike art and painting. I wouldn't do it outside of school, mainly because it was marked, and you'd have teachers and professors marking your work based on their preferences and personal experiences, and they just preferred some styles of art to others. I remember I'd have such talented classmates, and they would just get so much lower marks just because of the style of drawing wasn't what the teacher necessarily liked. So that was very disappointing, obviously. And then you just feel like you're trying to reach this certain grade, and that if you don't get the highest grade, then your art isn't at its best. And so you should try harder. And then you start comparing yourself with people that in your class did get high marks, and you think, wow, I should probably be more like them, or they're just way more talented than me and I can't really do anything about it. It was rough, it was tough, but I also really loved it because it got me to try lots of different styles and art forms. I tried sculpting, which I was never good at all. But for me personally, I'm also the type of person, and this isn't a good match with this kind of talent. I was always the type of person that would try something once, and if I couldn't do it that time, I would tell myself that I am shit at everything and I can't do it and I should just quit and try something else. So it's not ideal. I would never really push myself too hard to try something, but then when I did manage to do something, I'd be like, there we go, I knew it, that was my purpose, I knew it. I think the toughest thing as an artist is to get through that block where you think that all of your art is rubbish and no one will appreciate it, because if you're creating something, there is bound to be someone in the world that will appreciate that and that will resonate with your art, because art is deeply personal. Art is about your experiences, art is about your insecurities, it shows your personality. And I think the thing that makes you not value your art and you value everyone else's art, you think it's the best thing ever created, is because it is so personal. You see all of imperfections, you see it from the start to the end, and then you spend so much time looking at it that you lose the magic of the piece, and you suddenly start criticizing it in every minor single detail, to the point where I believe that when people would look at my art and think that's amazing, I would say, no, it's not, you don't see it, but I see it and I know that it's not good. Also, with the age of social media, I think you're constantly comparing yourself to others. You're comparing your art to other people's. You see videos that get way more views than yours, and you think that is so much better art than mine. I must not be talented enough. And sometimes taking a bit of a break and using a bit of inspo from some other artists can really help you get back on track. In the end, whenever I draw or paint something, I end up loving it so much that I just keep going for hours and no one can stop me because it's really, really enjoyable. And I think it's also good to be playful with it, to not always try and make the best piece in your life. For example, recently I made this. You might think, what the hell is that? I don't know. I just took a piece of paper and I decided to color it, and it became that. And I think someone's gonna enjoy that. Surely. I enjoy it. Someone's gonna appreciate it. And then this morning I made this little puppy drawing, which I love. I did that completely freehand, just kind of looking at a picture. So that was a challenge for me, but I really like it. It's really cute and I love puppies. And then I also made this one. This is a tricky one for me because there is something not quite right with it, but when I look at it upside down, it makes complete sense. Anyway, this is just a bit of an insight into my mind as an artist. Something else that I think is really important to tell you is that just because you're not doing it as a job doesn't mean you're not an artist or a creator. You can always call yourself a creator if that's truly what you love doing. If you do it even as a hobby, no one out there can tell you that you are not an artist. And I think that was also something that I learned that really helped me. Plus, right now with social media, there are so many ways to market your art. And I can't believe that in my whole course of being a creative and studying art, no one taught me how to market my art. Everyone's clueless. You just literally just do a bit of drawing and a bit of painting. No one tells you how to market your art, which is insane. Anyway, there's things like snail mail. You can do personalized portraits, there's wedding guest portraits, and all this kind of stuff that I would love to slowly delve into. I am working on starting a snail mail club, which I'm really, really excited about. I can't wait. I'm just in the process of trying different things out, trialing some stuff, getting all the materials that I need, and it's just really exciting, and hopefully I'll share it with you guys soon. But yeah, I hope this video resonated with some of you. Keep creating, keep making art. Nothing's wrong or bad. If you're making something, it's gonna resonate with someone. And even if it's just for yourself and it's your form of introspection and your way to deal with your emotions, it's still valuable and incredible, and it's never a waste of time. Never a waste of time. Thank you so much for listening to this video, and if you have any questions or thought about this topic, then please do let me know and comment them below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye!